Music and entertainment are critical in everyone's well-being. It can actually change your mood, and that's what we're looking for, is that opportunity to embrace that. Noteworthy is a talk show where I get to have conversations with some of my favorite people. I get to find out what drives them and what is their passion. These are their noteworthy stories.
Hello and welcome to Be Well TV Live. I'm Heidi Brumbach, executive producer of Be Well TV, and I have a very exciting guest today. My guest today is an accomplished athlete. He's a health and fitness fanatic. He's an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and a volunteer. He's been named a two-time All-American athlete in shot put, long jump, and 100-meter dash. He previously held the U.S. record in shot put and currently holds the U.S. record in discus. Justin Caine is married to his wife, Megan, and together they have two beautiful daughters, Felicity and Silas. I'd like to show you a little video about Justin Caine.
It was 1983, August 31st.
It was the first day of fourth grade.
I was almost to school.
And his shoe was untied. I said, Justin, your shoe's untied.
I bent down to tie my shoe. And when I did, this pain that I can't even describe.
And then just shot up and grabbed his head and said, Dad, my head. And then he started this
vomiting everywhere. I fell back, and my dad was trying to find out what was happening, and his voice got really mechanical, and then I was out. I loved to ride a bike. That was a huge thing that I loved to do when I was a kid.
When he first came out of it, they just said there were no guarantee. They couldn't tell us anything.
I was very aware of my surroundings. Problem was I had no way to actually tell anyone. I was basically a vegetable that I could see.
The fact that even as we were taking the necessary steps to keep him alive, he was actually trying to interact with us.
Dr. Gerton at one point said he will, he pretty much knew from his experience that he'll be able to talk again. It's going to come.
I was in there and I was determined that I was going to get everything back that I lost.
We weren't sure of everything that could happen that would be good, but we were certain that good things could happen. And it is really necessary to let families know that.
I just am so grateful for that man and his experience. You wouldn't have guessed it to look at Justin. I mean, he still looked probably minimally responsive, and you're thinking, how much is he going to be cognitively impaired? What are we going to have? What's it going to be?
Just last week, for the first time in 16 years, I got on a bike and I rode it.
The personal story is an important piece. But the contribution he's going to make is much larger.
It's Lunch with a Purpose. We do it every Thursday.
He's been able to integrate his advocacy for paying back the community, and that's a big part of what he's doing when he's promoting the weekly lunches or the turf football game that he sponsored out at MSU.
He continues to surprise me. He told me about a year ago that he had this idea for this football game. I didn't know much about the details, and then all of a sudden I see the poster that came out and I see the advertisements come out, and then I go there that day and he has all these former athletes. They're there and they're raising money and they're having a good time, and I just shake my head and say, okay, Justin, what's next?
When you see a child severely injured and who will just keep working at not being severely injured, and then you see him not only become a business person and a person who pursues his own interests, but then you see him start giving back to the community whenever he has a chance. Then you realize, my goodness, look at what really happened. What really happened was he took control of his own life.
the thing that I'm hoping is my company will get to the point where I can also, write a big check back to my hospital, and with a big thank you at the bottom where it says for thank you.
Welcome, Justin. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me, Heidi. I have a few more wrinkles than I did when that first came out, but yeah, happy to be here.
Not many. You still look pretty young, but I know that was a few years ago. A lot has happened since then. Children, marriage, all of those things. So it's
Yeah.
I have to say it warms my heart to see you so successful and to see you hit so many of these goals. And we're going to talk about that, but first I want to talk about your experience growing up after this incident. Tell me about what it was like as a child in school after your tumor was discovered.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, when my tumor was first discovered, it was an emergency. It actually hemorrhaged, and it was on the first day of fourth grade. So I basically almost missed my entire fourth grade year, battling and trying to get back and surviving that tumor, and that cancer. But I did get back just at the end of the year, and it's very unique. It's not a lot of fourth graders or not a lot of elementary school age kids really know what's going on when someone comes into their school, unable to walk and not really able to talk very well. So that was tough, but I just kept working hard, and my school had a lot of great support that helped me get through. I had some learning disabilities, I have double vision even to this day.
Oh wait, I'm going to interrupt you for a second because you can also do jazz hands with
Oh yes,
different speeds. Yeah.
yes. So one of the great exciting things about what I went through is I have some different coordination issues, and they allow me to do exciting things like two different speed jazz hands.
I love your sense of humor, and I love the first time you showed me that. I think we were out at a Chamber of Commerce mixer or something like that, and you were showing it off as a party trick. That was a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, you want to have fun with it, the trauma I went through, and that struggle and everything, that could have really brought me down, but I chose instead to spin it and see the bright side and have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's so respectable, and you've accomplished so many things. When you left school as an adult, I know that you were actually, as a teenager, you started working, and really you were a very hard worker. And I know that you just wrote about that and kind of shared your story just recently, a few days ago, and you talked about kind of the hardships and how your performance was being recognized, but the advancement wasn't happening. So talk about your work experience.
Yeah. So my experience, I think, is a lot like a lot of people with disabilities experiences, and that was, I graduated from college, and I had my degree, and I couldn't find anything really other than this very entry level kind of position. So I was working at a bar and restaurant, and when I say I worked, I mean I worked. I hustled, I pushed, I tried to outperform everyone in everything I could, and what ended up happening was my fellow employees were recognizing the work I was doing, but I was continuously left kind of at the bottom rung, and watching people actually come in that were hired long after me and promoted and became my bosses, and a lot of that is because of the stigma that comes from being a person with a disability, and just people not really expecting that you can do that much more than this bottom level, and so that was very frustrating, and that's actually what ended up finally getting me to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to make a job for myself, an opportunity for myself to be able to advance as far as I knew that I could, and there was just no way that I was going to be able to do that when I had bosses and leadership above me that were just unwilling to give me the shot and the opportunity to fulfill my goals and aspirations.
Right. So you studied video production or broadcast? Was it video production?
Yeah, it was media technology with an emphasis in video is what I went to Lansing Community College for.
Okay, so you started your own video production company because you saw that opportunity as the best for you for advancement, and it's funny now seeing you as a successful business person. You would never know your backstory. When you read about Justin on paper, he's just a very successful, influential person in the community and in the business world. After you started your company, I know that you met a fellow video production entrepreneur who you ended up collaborating with and merging companies. And now you are the co-owner of Good Fruit Video. And I want to show a little story about Good Fruit Video.
Good Fruit Video helps organizations create consistent quality video content to increase sales, recruit talent, establish credibility as an expert, and ultimately boost the bottom line. We deliver on that promise with our Video Made Easy customer journey workflow that delivers a video that clients love in a fast, flexible, and authentic way every time. Fast means your content is always fresh and relevant to your audience. Flexible means you can call an audible, and Good Fruit will make the play. Authentic means your content is uniquely you. So are you a good fit for Good Fruit? Let's discover. The consultation is free.
So I want the viewers at home to know that we've worked together many times over the years, and Good Fruit Video is a great company that produces great quality work. But I love that you have a story and a mission, and the way you talked about your future business, or I guess you had started the business in the video that we saw at the beginning, when you talked about writing a check to say thank you. I know that you operate every day in your business with the goal of giving back to the community, and it's so special. I want you to tell some stories about some of the clients that you work with, because I know that it's all very mission driven and charitable.
Yeah, I mean, we have, our goal is, our underlying goal is to do good and be fruitful. That is our goal with Good Fruit Video. And what that means is to help everyone really get to where they're aspiring for. So, and we do that by helping first, and providing video services and just helping different organizations to realize their goals and their aspirations through doing that, and whether that means however that may be, whether we're shooting the whole thing and producing the whole thing, or we're helping facilitate that for them. We want to help everyone tell their story, and that's what we're all about. And recently, this last year has been a really crazy year, and we actually ended up launching a philanthropic arm for Good Fruit Video called Do Good, Be Fruitful, which is our underlying mission. And the idea of it is once a month we actually we ask for submissions, and we identify different organizations to provide free services for, so we can tell their story. So we just launched that. We actually had the first one that we did at the beginning of this year. It just came out not too long ago for an organization called Paint Your Poison, which is a traveling paint and sip organization who's really struggling because of COVID, which, I mean, all sorts of organizations are struggling because of COVID. But so we told their story, and we're just about to go and reach out and ask for the next submissions to find another organization. And we're just going to keep doing this, and we're going to keep going and going and going, because at the end of the day, yes, we want to grow our company and be successful and financially viable and everything, but we want to help.
And you're doing great things. So you started the business, you were into it really just a few years, but really picking up speed and gaining success. And it didn't take long before you started another organization, Beyond Our Barriers. And I know that stemmed from your background. I want to show a little video about Beyond Our Barriers.
This is my shining moment, finally. I was a truck driver with the Michigan Army National Guard deployed over in Iraq. On November 4th, I was medically discharged because it was determined I have lymphedema in the lower section of my body. Some of my other disabilities that I have, as 7 to 8% of Americans have today, is PTS, which is post-traumatic stress syndrome.
All right, so Doug, what are you working on then today? I decided I wanted to do something a little different and help people in a different way. And I was researching different types of businesses. I thought, in-home care, what options are out there? And I chose First Light.
I had spent a good 6 years looking for employment. Yes, I did pick up little side jobs. I mow a guy's yard once a week, but I was always looking for something better.
I'm finding that just running the business and making contacts is taking up all of my time, and I realized I needed another person. So I started looking online for people. I found Beyond Our Barriers. I started reviewing all of the videos, and I actually looked at a couple of people that I considered, but I called Doug first. I feel like everybody has something that they can contribute, and it doesn't really matter what they can't do. I want to know what they can do.
Just because someone has a physical or mental challenge doesn't mean that they're a liability to the employer. Sometimes the strongest employees can be those that have challenge because they already know how to overcome adversity, because they deal with it every day.
Justin, that's just such an amazing cause, and I can't believe that just all that you've accomplished with this. Tell the audience, what have you accomplished with it? What are some of the success stories that you can tell?
Yeah, so I started Beyond Our Barriers because, I started out as a person with a disability that was seeking employment, and I struggled with that, and I never was really able to find success with that. And then I became an entrepreneur and grew it to the point where I became an employer that was hiring people with disabilities. I have 2 of our employees that are people with disabilities within my team, and now seeing it from this perspective as an employer and understanding my other older perspective as a individual with a disability looking for employment, I saw the gaps and the issues, and I wanted to resolve those, and so I started Beyond Our Barriers, that provides all these different tools and resources to help better connect and facilitate those connections. The goal for Beyond Our Barriers is to get the unemployment rate for people with disabilities to that of the general public within 10 years. It's a very lofty goal, but I feel like there are some things that we put in place, and there's some momentum we're starting to get back. We had a lot of momentum going before the pandemic, and we're starting to get back there. And I'm excited for the future and where we can get with it.
So, what is the process that both the employees and the employers go through to become matched?
Well, so Beyond Our Barriers doesn't actually serve individuals. We have 3 different ways that we serve, and I guess I shouldn't say we don't serve individuals, because we do, but we have 3 specific avenues that we serve, and the first one is we help individuals with disabilities to reach their ultimate goals. So that means not just getting them a job, not like how I graduated from college, but all I could find was a job, busting dishes.
Right.
Not like that. That's not what I want to do. I want to match individuals with disabilities with their dreams, their aspirations, with any skills and tools, and then get them to the level that they want. And we use our tools in order to do that. And we have a very exciting partnership that I can't talk about quite yet, but that's coming quite soon. That's going to really help with that. And
well,
then
viewers at home, we should let you know that this video will live online, and we'll make sure to add updates when you have that announcement.
Okay, excellent. The second avenue that we're working on is becoming a kind of diversity and inclusion arm for small businesses. So I'm a small business owner. I know many small business owners, and a lot of them are very interested in including people with disabilities into their workforces. The problem is, unlike large organizations that have the capacity to have departments that are just all about diversity and inclusion, small businesses, we're very, very thin, and we don't have a lot of extra capacity to do those kind of things. And so Beyond Our Barriers is going to start working with small businesses in order to help them connect with talented individuals with disabilities that could fill their employment needs. And then the final thing that I'm very excited about is helping nurture entrepreneurship for people with disabilities. So, there is some entrepreneurship going on, but most of it is micro enterprises. And many of those micro enterprises are not actually owned by the people with disabilities, but by organizations or other individuals who are representing them. I want to help individuals with disabilities actually take concepts, grow them, make them a profitable organization that's hiring people and providing value to society. And I feel like I have the tools and resources and know how to do so. So those are the 3 ways that I think that if I can surround myself with the talent and be honor bearers and facilitate those connections, that we can hit that goal of the unemployment rate for people with disabilities down to that of the general public within 10 years.
That's great. It's really a missing category in the supplier diversity world. And I know that you've been a great advocate for kind of making that category more present to potential corporations that small businesses and even employees can partner with. So you did mention the pandemic. I usually try to avoid the topic because it's best to just ignore it and move on. But I want to talk to you a little bit because with all of the things that you're doing, you also have 2 young children. How has it been? I know you're in Michigan. You've spent probably more time at home than a lot of other states. In Florida, we've been coming into the office. I think you've been a little bit more limited, but the schools have been closed, so the kids are doing online schooling, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have 2 children. We have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. The 3-year-old is obviously not in school yet, but she is she is in daycare, and we've been able to get her in and out of daycare several times, and we'd get her in and everything would go well for a while, and then everything would start spiking and going bad, and we'd have to bring her home for a while. We're trying to balance the whole risk reward thing, especially with our parents being elderly and wanting them to feel safe being around our children. So that was interesting. And then our older one, Felicity, she's 7, and so she's experienced all of 2nd grade at home, and it's been a challenge. She has raging ADD, just like her dad, but she's like a 7-year-old girl version of me. So it we kind of butt heads sometimes with everything, and it can be stressful trying to balance trying to get work done and making sure that she's where she needs to be with her schoolwork and everything. But we've been managing. She is going back to school shortly. March 15th, she'll be heading back to school, and knock on wood, which this isn't wood, but it's glass, knocking glass. Everything's going to keep going the right direction.
Let's hope so. Well, Justin, right at the beginning of the pandemic, I hadn't been following that closely, but I do know that you were scheduled to go to Tokyo, Japan?
No, Thailand. I was going to go to
Thailand for the Paralympics, where you have been chosen to participate, and that, of course, was canceled, but you've continued your training. And I know that you're scheduled to do some other competitions. What do you have lined up? You guys, viewers at home, it's amazing what Justin can accomplish.
Yeah, so it's a lot of focus and a lot of determination and discipline to be able to balance everything that I'm doing. But yeah, I've been training, and I keep watching everything, and hopefully the track and field season is going to start up. I just got an email yesterday about the largest international competition on U.S. soil, which is called Desert Challenge, which is in Arizona, and that will be happening in May. So I'm excited. I'm gonna sign up for that, and then in June there will be trials in order to try to make Tokyo, and I'll be doing that and see what we can do. But it's been hard. I've been training 6-7 days a week, but although I hold U.S. records in throwing, I'm actually it's a long story, but I ended up finding out that really my best my best sport was long jump. And so I'm in the top 15 in the world in long jump, and so I've been training towards that. But there's no long jump pits that are open around in Michigan, so I haven't been able to train in a good half year.
Yeah,
So
jumping in the ice and snow just isn't the same, is it?
it's not, no. And I was training at Jenison Fieldhouse, which is on Michigan State University's campus, and it's awesome. But once everything really started picking up, they shut everything down, and everything's still shut down. So I'm hoping, that I'll be able to get some jumps in, get some rust off before I head to Arizona.
Well, I can tell that you've been training because I've seen your pictures on Facebook, and I was a little too embarrassed to actually show them here on Be Well TV Live. But if anyone is interested in following your health and fitness journey, where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can obviously just request my friendship. That would be the first thing with Justin Caine. Or you can look up, I have a page about my Paralympic journey, Justin Caine Paralympic Hopeful on Facebook. If you're interested in video production and my company with that, Good Fruit Video has a page, and we also have a website, goodfruitvideo.com. And then Beyond Our Barriers also has a page on Facebook, just Beyond Our Barriers, or bob4mi.com is our website.
So many great things. Justin, I really appreciate you taking the time with so many things to do. It was great to have you here today. I hope that we have a chance to bring you back. For those of you that didn't have the chance to write all of those websites down fast enough, we'll make sure to share all of that information in the links online. So thank you, Justin. Thank you to the viewers at home. Everyone, be well.